Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording above the butcher shop in beautiful Spring Valley with my man Derek Marso from Valley Farm Market. What up, Derek?
Not much. Just getting back from a 5-day trip to Kansas, so that was exciting. We have these new microphone stands, which are pretty fancy, so that's pretty cool for our first time back. But yeah, Kansas was great. We did a lot of waterfowl hunting, some upland hunting, got a lot of geese, duck, pheasant, quail, and got to see my roommates and my best friends out in Kansas. So it was great. And then the announcement of Bill Snyder retiring again at Kansas State has been a pretty big topic out there. So pretty cool. We're excited to see who the next head coach is, though.
Yeah, it was those pictures that you put were incredible.
The sunsets in California are amazing, but the open sunsets in Kansas in the Midwest are spectacular. I mean, it's so big. I mean, the sky, you just feel so small, and it's just amazing to watch, and you're literally sitting there in the sunrises because, for waterfowl, we're getting there 4 a.m. to set up decoys and set up our A-frames and get ready for them, and you're watching that sunrise, and it's just, you're sitting there thinking and doing stuff. You're like, man, this is actually really, really exciting and cool that we get to do this. I get to sit with my best friends that Joey Metropolis has never done any waterfowl hunting before. Benny has, but, out here in California, never any, like in Kansas where it's so prominent. So being able to experience that with them. And then Russ Vanover, who's like my best friend out in Kansas, got to take us with his buddy. And, just having all of them there and getting to share that experience is truly what it's all about. And we talk about the process in life, and me being able to go out there and share that process with them was very rewarding for me.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm stoked you shared those pictures on Valley Farm, Spring Valley, your Instagram page. Those are really cool. Those of you that follow the podcast, we appreciate it. This is episode number 83. We publish a new episode every Friday. It's a business marketing podcast. We talk about barbecue. We talk about events. We talk about hospitality, talk about media. Today, we're very fortunate to be joined by a gentleman that we highly respect. We've been following him for a while now, making a big name for himself and their business in La Jolla. Craig, the owner of Promiscuous Fork, has been gracious enough to come and join Derek and I behind the smoke. So welcome, Craig.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
We truly admire what the business that you've built. If you could give us a little bit of your backstory and how you got into opening the Promiscuous Fork.
Probably started in the restaurant business when I was 14, washing tables or washing dishes and bussing tables, and worked my way up. Most of my career was bartending. Moved down. I was in Sacramento for about 9 years. I moved down here in '98. Started down on the gas lamp, kind of worked my way up into management, got out of that, went back to bartending at Steakhouse, and then I met my business partner, Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you always cooking when you were bartending? Like, did you have this passion for food?
Got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just reading and asking, the chefs that I worked with, and I've never taken a class or anything. I just really got this passion for it.
And where'd you grow up?
Northern California, Clear Lake.
Clear Lake.
Yeah.
Where's that by?
It's about an hour north of Napa.
Okay.
Where the big fires were this year?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. That's well, hopefully everything's okay up there. It's been pretty bad here in California with all the fires and stuff. And in 07 or 08, 07, we had it pretty bad in San Diego in this last few months. Sorry. Central or LA and Central Northern California had some really, really horrific fires. So
yeah, we had the ranch fire up there. There was 2 fires, and my mom got evacuated for about 4 days.
Wow. How's her house?
Good.
Yeah.
We used to drive through there. We always went to a little lake called Lake Almanor off Mount Lassen. And it's just so beautiful. I don't think people understand how beautiful Northern California is.
It's gorgeous.
It's just so amazing, all the trees. And, I can't wait to be able to take my kids up there, hopefully someday. But so you grew up in Northern California. What brought you down here?
It wasn't Sacramento.
Right. Get away from the
Yeah,
sack town.
I got out of Sac, and I came down here, and I was like, man, I wish I'd done this 20 years ago.
Sure.
And so I started bartending down here and started managing. Anyway, when I met Ray, he was in mortgage and banking and lending for a long time. And I had this idea. I said, I want to do this thing in the farmer's market, a grilled Caesar salad concept. And he said, well, I'll do it with you. You know, we just did it. Did it on Sundays, and we called it the Romaine Empire.
That wouldn't go over too well right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the Romaine recalls.
So, you know, we did that for about almost a year, every Sunday. It wasn't
Just making Caesar salads.
Grilled Caesar salad and top it with like a chicken, shrimp, or lamb. And we had 5 different Caesar dressings. There's like a green chili dressing, a Cajun dressing, a cilantro dressing, a classic. So you kind of build your own Caesar salad.
With anchovies?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And raw egg and anchovies.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Which farmers market were you in?
La Jolla.
La Jolla?
Yeah.
And talk about the process of getting into it and what you learned about setting up once a week for a farmer's market.
I learned it wasn't the market for us because it's more of a morning market.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were flanked by crepe, and they had 20 people long lines, and we were going, do you want to try chicken and Caesar?
Right.
You know, at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
The process was pretty easy. You know, all the proceeds go to the school, so it was a good thing. It's just getting up that early in the morning to go do it and get set up.
What time they open?
I want to say it was like 8.
Okay.
So we'd get there at 6 and set up, and then we'd go have breakfast because it turns into
crepes.
It turned into a cluster. You know, everyone trying to bring their trucks in there and set up. So we'd go early.
Yeah.
And set up and make sure the barbecue worked, turn it off, and go have breakfast and come back.
So do you have a lot of people that wanted you to, do any caterings or anything?
That's where we got one of our first caterings. Yeah.
Really?
A nice couple came up and they were getting married, and they said, we want to, they took a chance with us.
And how'd that work?
Worked out great.
How many people were at
I
the
didn't
wedding?
sleep for 3 days.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like 40 people.
Okay.
And it was a nice little sort of a reception that we did with them.
So you and Ray go to the farmers markets. You guys are making Caesar salads. And then for a year, you said?
For about a year, and we kept talking about catering. Let's get into catering. I was still bartending. He was still, doing lending and stuff like that. And we came up with the name. And then, lucky for me having Ray is he's the business guy. So he went and did set up the tax and set up, all the business stuff.
Sure.
Stuff I don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. And we became the Promiscuous Fork.
How did you pick the name?
That's the funny story. Is my bartending most of my career, my wife and friends would come to the bar, and they'd all hang out and they'd all order food. And she's 4'11", and she'd pop up next to them with her fork and be like, "Well, what did you get? What did you get?" And I would tell her, "Sit your ass down.
Right.
What these people eat." And it just sort of dawned on me that that's about sharing. It's about getting stuff and passing it around and people trying different things.
That's awesome. Yeah, every time we say the name to some of our friends, and they just, Stacy Poon Kenny, the first time we said Promiscuous Fork, I think she's still laughing at the name. She absolutely loves it.
I had a lady call me on the freeway and was on the back of my truck, and she goes, "Oh my God, if you are not successful because of your name, that is the best thing ever." And I'm like, we should not be on our phones right now.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys started doing the catering, and how long did you guys do that for before you opened up your brick and mortar?
We catered for about 5 years.
Oh, wow.
And then Ray finally left. He was going to, pull his hair out in the banking in 2009, when everything went. He's like, I got to get out of it. So he went to catering full time. I was still bartending. So we catered for about 5 years.
Yeah.
And right across the street from where I live, the little place where you guys be next to us, was a little Chinese place. And she had it for sale. So we went in and we looked, and there's nothing there we want to buy.
Sure.
She wanted, I forget how much she wanted, like $36,000 for it. And we're like, well, there's nothing here we want to buy. We're not going to use any of your equipment. So we kind of stalled, and other people were looking at it. Other places want to make, like a Chinese place. Domino's was looking at it.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know how it worked out. She picked up her cash register one day and locked the door and left. So we called the agent.
Uh-huh.
She says, "Come on down." And we looked at it, and we actually had a client who was just awesome. We've done a lot of catering for the whole cul-de-sac, and we basically asked them for the money because the bank wouldn't give us anything.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they were nice enough. They said, "Look, someone gave us a hand up one time, and they saw it as the Chinese place, and it was filthy.
Right.
And they said, 'When do you want to check?' And it changed."
Wow. That's incredible. And that one investor was enough to get the store open?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the one investor
That and
gives
credit
you-
cards.
yeah, lots and lots of credit cards. So you get the money, and what made you think it was okay to open a restaurant that's 500 square feet? Because, Sean having a restaurant, me having my grocery store, we always want more room. There's you're always kind of fighting for space. From doing
Still
the
doing
caterings,
that.
how's it been, and what have your struggles been for getting such a? So if you guys don't know Promiscuous Fork, it's absolutely amazing. I love going down there. Every Wednesday we go down there. We eat all the time. The ambiance is extremely cool, nautical a little bit, and the painted chalkboard paint signs and stuff. It's just really inviting. And but what made you guys take that leap?
It was kind of organic the way it worked out. I mean, we went to. I was on my way to Costa Rica for a friend's wedding, and Ray had texted me and said, "We got it, and we're in." So he signed the lease and everything. And then he came down for it. We came back in January and started ripping things out.
What year was that?
2012. We
Okay.
opened May 18th of 2012. So we did a lot of the stuff ourselves, just during the day, ripping stuff out. And I remember getting the one wall to the kitchen, and we got it down to the studs, and I wasn't going to change it. And I just looked at it, and I kind of got down in a 3-point stance, and I ran at it.
Really? Knocked it down?
And blasted it.
Nice. So you guys do all that, and then how the community take you guys in when you guys first started?
It was crazy. I think about this all the time because I think about what Ray and I, how we started. We catered, and we cooked everything on site, but we were never short or cooks at all. And we opened the doors, and we had a line out the door for 6 months, handwritten tickets, making stuff as we needed, making pesto as we needed. It was just Ray and I. No prep, no dishwasher, no nothing. And we went from having fun in catering to about 110 hours a week per person.
Sure.
Open to close, and we closed on Sundays because we needed one day to sleep in.
Right.
And come Saturday night, he was my best friend. We wouldn't even say goodbye to each other. He hated me, I hated him.
Right.
We slept. We'd come back Monday and start all over again.
What were the hours? What were the operating hours?
Open at 11, and we closed at 9 during the week and 10 on Friday and Saturday.
Have you changed those hours at all since you've been in business?
No, I tried to open Sundays, and it's not that kind of a place.
Right.
So we did it for 6-8 weeks and just kind of said, let's keep it Sundays.
Where are you pulling most of your customers from? Is it
all local,
high school and kids, or do you think?
No, not a whole lot of high school and kids because we're there's the taco shop next door. They go there, but their parents all come in. It's a great community. La Jolla is an amazing community, and half of them walk there, half of them drive. They come home. There's nights we do almost 80% to go business.
Really?
Which is a big pat on the back. You think that they know they probably can't get a seat, which they probably can, but they like your food that much that they get it to go.
Well, that's great, man. That's good to hear. So you guys are still just doing well. How'd you guys come up and engineer your menu?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to see on a menu.
And that's
Really?
Yeah, just randomly. I knew what genre we wanted to be in. We wanted to be sort of a upscale beach food in a basket, so people could take a bite of a sandwich and go, I'm getting this in a basket, not a plate with an $18 plate. And it worked out, and it's grown a little bit. It's kind of we've added a few things, taken off a few things. Our chicken sandwich, our number one seller, was a mistake. I had 2 or 3 hot dogs on the list, and they just weren't selling.
Yeah. And
I was in the kitchen, and I said, I'm gonna make myself a chicken sandwich, and I made that, and I bit into it, and I went, what the hell? And it's our number one seller.
The chicken sandwich is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I get it every time I go. It's one of those, I'm scared to get something else because I love it so much.
It's craveable.
Yeah, it's
for
delicious.
sure.
So about Crown Point. So you opened a second location.
2 years after that, to the day, same birthday.
2014.
Yeah.
You opened.
We opened Crown Point. Do you know Burton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
we know Michael.
So he came to us and said, "Hey, I've got a couple guys who are doing a project down in Crown Point, and they want a concept like you or you." And we went down and looked at it, and I knew the area, and we kind of fell in love with it, and did it. It was we went from 513 square feet to 2,300 square feet with a patio.
Oh wow! And beer and wine license.
Beer and wine,
Yep.
yeah. So 16 beers on tap. A little more freedom to have some more wine. I had an espresso machine. We had mimosas. Brunch was huge for us. It was a big undertaking.
We're right in Ground Point. Where were you?
Right next to Crest Liquor.
Rocky's
Rockies and Crest Liquor.
Yeah, catty corner to Rockies.
Oh wow.
So the Murphys, who are our landlords now, they built that place, and they're great guys.
Sure.
Yeah, I watched your podcast with them, and I love those guys.
No,
Yeah.
they've been amazing with us. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And, going into this, for the past 5 years, I'm always kind of looking to see what's out there, and, getting to do this in La Jolla, we were able to say no, which is a positive thing. And, after meeting the Murphys, it was very easy for us to know that, they wanted us as much as we wanted them, and that it was going to be a relationship where we work together.
Right.
If you don't have that with your landlord, if they don't want your success and they just want a transactional, like, don't talk to me, just mail me in the rent or your lease money, like, it's never going to work.
Right.
And just to know how vested they are in us coming in there has been amazing, and it makes you feel good. It really makes
That's
you
what
feel
we had
good.
before. We had the 2 buildings were in foreclosure, so we had no one to even talk to if we had a problem or anything.
Right.
The Murphys came in and bought it in 17, and just knowing them and knowing their story, they've been so transparent. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
and they're blowing up right now.
A lot of people say a lot of things. It's great to see people that are actually doing it. When you see Russ and you see Scott, and they're there on site making moves, making decisions, working with tenants, working with subcontractors. That kind of stuff inspires Derek and I, because we know that they're not full of shit.
I mean, what kind of landlord gives you brand new paint and a new sign for free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which looks incredible.
Yeah,
by the
the
way.
signs look great.
Yeah,
They
incredible.
look amazing.
I don't know if I've seen that. When did the signs go up?
Just last week, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I've been gone.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see the signs yet.
Yeah. They look fantastic.
I'll see them tomorrow.
Mhm.
And I'll get some lunch.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, Crown Point was interesting.
Different demographic? Or?
Different. I mean, 4 miles away, completely different demographic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just we had same preparations, same cooks. A lot of our cooks went back and forth. Same cooks, same preparation, same everything. Received completely differently. A lot of people loved us down there, but I got more criticism down there than I do La Jolla.
Wow.
Like for not having a fryer. It's like we opened a porn shop or something there. They were just like, how do you not have fries with your burger?
Wow.
I'm like, well, we just don't have a fryer. We don't have a microwave. We don't have a fryer. We're giving you good products.
Right.
I got nothing against fries, but
Wow. So tell us, I know obviously something that happened that not helped, but was a tragedy. Something, life isn't always about roses and butterflies and opening up new businesses. Sometimes life gets in the way, and sometimes tragedy happens. Can you tell us a little bit about?
yeah, we showed up to a catering job in December of 16, and we were unloading, and
It's tough, man.
Ray had a seizure. And come to find out, he had glioblastoma, brain cancer.
He had any symptoms of anything before that?
No,
So everything was good.
just
and-
fine, and had a seizure, and they rushed him to the hospital, and he had surgery the next day.
Mhm.
And so we dealt with that for about 18 months, and he passed away in May.
Sorry to hear that. So he fought it for 18 months, and just eventually it took him. So Crown Point was something that kind of had to.
Yeah, I got handed 2 restaurants, and he was the guy who did payroll, and he was the business guy.
Sure.
I'm the creative guy, and it was like, here you go, now figure it out. Like we said earlier, figure it out. In between, I don't know if we were talking earlier, but in between Ray getting his cancer, his wife had developed cancer and passed away before him.
Oh, no way.
December 29th last year.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's been a rough 2 years. So we're back on our feet. We sold Crown Point. It's going to be a ramen place now. Getting back to La Jolla itself and really, stopping some bleeding and really get back to our roots.
Right.
And get the catering. And we're going to start catering again.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, man. That's good. It's those tragedies are really hard to come back from. And, to see that you're, kind of taking back to La Jolla and just kind of getting back to what you guys started is very admirable and cool of you to be able to just kind of hyper focus on that.
Right.
And I'm sure Ray would be extremely proud of you for doing that and keeping it going. So kudos to you.
Yeah, it's kind of a circle of life thing. His son's about to have a kid.
First kid?
His first kid.
So it would have been his grandchild.
It'll be Penelope Ray Penfield.
Mm-hmm. And do you still talk to his son a lot? You see him?
Yeah. The great thing is that we were all really close, and now we're a lot closer.
Sure.
His sister, brother-in-law, his parents, his two kids.
Did he live out in La Jolla?
No, he lived right behind the High Dive off Marina Boulevard.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is weird because his neighbor had passed away of glioblastoma as well.
Really?
Yeah. And then for his wife to get cancer as well.
That's kind of really weird.
Yeah. Something's not right.
Wow.
Was his neighbor young as well?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I only know the wife, but he had passed away before that.
Wow.
So
that's got to be tragic for their kids, losing both parents within 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy for that. And, it sucks because, you have to think about things like that. And,
right.
Doing these business transactions and doing what we do in business, you have to have your life insurance stuff, and you have to do those things, and you have to go have those uncomfortable conversations with your wives and stuff. And we do them. My wife and I, we've had those. Like, hey, if it happens, I want you to go do this, or I want you to go do that, and I want you to live your life and be happy, and I want to make sure that I have enough life insurance to where you're not worried about anything, and that I put you in a position to succeed and be there for the kids. And she does the same thing for me, and it's like, man, those fucking conversations are so uncomfortable.
But you don't think about that stuff until it happens. And we luckily had a regular who was in insurance, and he had said, you guys got to do this. Right. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll do it. And one day, like probably January of the year he got cancer, we signed something.
Oh wow.
And just to protect you,
Absolutely.
Either one.
Absolutely.
For sure. Yeah, it really is to protect you. I have one of my best friends, Corey Stenovic, who his wife passed away, and she had a brain aneurysm. After that, it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, like, she didn't really have anything set up. She had a little thing set up through the school. But it really pushes you. You don't want to think about those things, right? Because you're going to live forever and everything's going to be fine. And it's just, unfortunately, it's just not what happens.
I know my lifestyle. I'm not living forever.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That's, that's how my lifestyle was too. And then just, 4 years ago after having my son, it's, I have 3 sons now, but it's, kind of changed. I used to always say, like, I don't want to live past 60. I'm going to go hard for 60 years and then that's it. And now I'm like, fuck, if they have something where I can live to 200, let's go. I'll fucking live to 200, whatever, trying to get my health back there and lose weight and get healthy again. It's, something that I want to be able to be there for my kids, and I want to be able to, share experiences and help. I think it's just, I just want to be able to help them. I don't want them to have to struggle, but I think sometimes the struggles are what make you stronger.
100%. Yeah. It's, now I just take this and I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to make the fork even better. And, I still tell myself down the road I may open a second one again.
Yeah.
But I think La Jolla is more our model.
Yeah. What kind of things are you doing now to build your catering business?
Right now, not much. I'm just dipping my toe back into it. So we probably have 40 parties a year that we do just by repeat business.
Okay.
So I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, look, we're back up and going. I'm investing a little bit of money into like a box truck. Right now we have a trailer, and I'm going to outgrow that real quick.
Sure.
So I'm gonna look into streamlining it a little bit, making it easier.
Box truck, like a food truck, or
No,
more
just a van truck.
that can carry everything. You say you do everything on site,
We cook everything on site,
so you take out grills and you
unless
do
you're
all that?
doing, unless you're doing short ribs or something like that, where it takes, it's a 5-6 hour cook. We'll do that, but everything else is. We hated going to weddings and having food that's been sitting there in a hot box for 2 hours and then just put a sauce on it. You get a chicken, shrimp, or a chicken, fish, or meat, and we sort of said, I don't want to do this. So we do everything from the grill to the people, or we use their ovens, we use their facilities if we can, but we have 2 5.5-foot grills. We have tables. We have we're all self-explanatory or self-contained.
Sure. Do you guys smoke anything?
What do you mean by that?
Right. Well, everyone smokes stuff out here. You guys smoke any meats?
Yeah, we used to smoke when we had we have a big Toastmaster smoker we had in Crown Point. I have it now. It's not hooked up, so I'm looking into getting another little hood put in and start smoking meat again.
Well, that's exciting. Even though the fucking coastal committee is going to be a nightmare for getting that hood for the smoke.
Yeah.
Over there. That's what we're going to be running into, because we have old hickory smokers that we're going to be bringing out and doing all of our
In the back
barbecue
lot?
stuff. No, we're going to do it in the
Inside?
inside.
Okay.
And the hoods, and Jesus, man, it's out here it's Wild West. I got my smokers outside and can do whatever I want. Over
there it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you run any problems over there with the health department?
No.
They've been
Not
pretty
really.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're it's the health department.
Right.
You do what they're going to do, but no, not too much.
How's the business? Is it seasonal? Like, do you see a spike in the summertime, or
Definitely a spike in the summertime. It's funny
summer.
because I'll look at numbers like right now and I'll go, I seem a little low, and I'll look at last year's numbers and we're usually within $200.
Really?
So I can set my watch to what La Jolla does.
Wow.
You go gangbusters through summertime, and there's so many rentals in La Jolla. You get people from Idaho and Texas and Utah and New York, and they all come out, and if they love you, they'll come. They're there for 7 days. They'll be at my place, 4 of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they love it. But some come Labor Day, right after Labor Day, everything kind of just deflates a little bit, and then you get these little rolling hills throughout the wintertime, and then come April-ish, May, right back up.
So you do see a lot of tourists come in and eat there.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty cool too, with the 15 units above our place. We'll be able to.
You guys you're in a great spot over there.
Yeah.
I honestly think that La Jolla is going to embrace you very well.
Oh, we're excited for it. Like, seriously, we are. And we were talked about it a little bit before the podcast, but we're not going to change much, man. I am who I am, and Sean is who he is, and we're going to ingrain ourselves in that community and give back as much as we can and do whatever we can. We truly don't want to be a transactional business, and all I'm worried about is just getting you in and getting you out. I want to create an experience for you and get to know you and know your family and what you guys like and what you don't like, and see if we can't just, work with everybody in the community and make everybody better. It's already a great place, and why not just, help it rise?
It's a great community. And, I did the same thing with mine when you asked about the menu. I put out what I would eat.
Right.
And if you didn't like it, sorry, this is what this is me. I'm being true to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
And fortunately it's worked out.
That's awesome.
So as long as you guys do that, and I was walking your store this morning, and I like it. I mean, we need a craft market there.
Yeah, I think we 12 years ago when I came into the store, my dad, I was actually selling life insurance, and my dad said, why don't you, because I didn't really like life insurance, like, why don't you come in here? I want to retire soon. I'm like, okay, I don't mind coming in, but it was all kind of ran down store.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I don't really want to be that. And they were really, really trying to be a commodity store still. And they were really focusing on being a grocery store. And I said, if I come in, I really want to do something different. And I want to make sure that I can put my mark on things. And my dad, being the saint that he is, he just really allowed me to put my touch on the store.
Right.
And so my big thing at first was, before anyone even knew what, the craft beer big boom, I was in it. I was just starting to drink then, really liking craft beers, and became a cicerone. And, we brought in 1,000 different beers, and everyone's like, what are you guys turning into a liquor store? I'm like, no, we're just doing something that's different, unique, that
Stay ahead of the times.
give you guys. Yeah. And then just slowly started implementing that in everything. My dad went to Greece after 2 months when I was in here, and we didn't have any prime beef. We only had USDA choice. Okay. And he leaves and says, hey, man the ship for a month or two while I go to Greece. And I'm like, all right. So he leaves, and I'm like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in some USDA prime beef. So we order it. I know we got 30 days to pay for it, right?
Yeah, he's probably looking at the price going, we're doing what?
Right. So he leaves. I do it. And I go up to this little community up here. It's called Mount Helix. And I pass out flyers to stores or to houses. And I tell them, hey, we're now carrying USDA prime beef. You wouldn't believe how many people came down for the prime beef. And, when my dad thought that the community couldn't support it, they could. So they came in. All of a sudden, my dad gets back and he's like, hey, how'd everything go? I'm like, well, Dad, I got to tell you something. He's like, well, what happened? I'm like, well, I brought in prime beef, and here's the invoice. I brought in $12,000 worth of product. And he's like, you got to be fucking kidding me. How are you going to pay for that? I'm like, well,
we already did.
Here are our sales. And he's like, no way. And that's when we started changing to like more of the, something you can't get at your commodity store and that you can only get at a specialty store. And, I already knew the packing house that we were getting them from. It's just such a high quality packing house. And doing that with everything, the seafood, wild-caught sustainable seafood, the pokies, the ceviches, making sausages from scratch still that, you don't see. We actually still use the old crank.
They look great down there.
But it's just things like that. And the craft part of things, you guys do it. You guys are a craft niche little place, and that's exactly what we want to be. It's just be something craft that you can't get anywhere else. You can go get your commodity stuff at Costco. Go for it. I get it. I still go to Costco sometimes. I'm in a grocery store.
I do.
So
I find a better quality there than some of the stuff my distributor gives me.
Right.
It's not about the price. It's about quality for me.
Right.
And I'm not going to budge on certain things.
Yeah. So, just going, like you said, back to that craft, I think people are really getting into the craft on everything.
Well, the Food Network helped a lot, and how all that changed, and it changed people's taste buds. It changed the way they look at food. And so you don't want to put out, you don't want to reheat food and put it out, which too many people are still doing.
Sure.
So if you can make it from scratch, we're not grinding our burgers, but we're forming them patties, and if I could, I would, but I'm pretty limited to what I got.
Right. I'm sure we'll work something out. We can grind your meat for you and pass it over. We do it for Brody's. I don't know if you heard of Brody's Burgers and Beer. They're voted best hamburger in San Diego by iHeartRadio this last go around. But we grind all their ground beef every single day. They come in every single day. It's USDA Prime Chuck, and they come in, they get it. I told them, like, hey, you can probably get 3 days worth of chuck, and it'll still be good, and you'll be fine. It does what's called the hemoglobin oxidation process, where it turns a little brown in the middle, but it's just an air thing. It's not it going bad. That
was a problem we had when we were having someone do our burgers daily,
right?
And after 2 days, they were turning gray, and they're fine. But we have a giant window that everyone stands there and looks down at you, and you can't pull a gray burger out.
No,
even though it's perfectly fine.
Right,
absolutely.
So we went back to the old way.
Yeah. So he's like, nope, I want it every day. And he comes in every fucking day and gets ground beef and ground turkey for his burgers. So,
well, I'm excited to have you guys as a neighbor for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely work something out and get you hooked up.
Yeah, we used to smoke. Not having a fryer, we used to smoke our wings. We smoke our pork, and we smoke our pork belly. And now we've had to adapt and bake it and add different seasonings to try to get where we can. But I'm excited to hopefully. I'm working with Russ and Scott about what I can do to get that smoker up and going.
Yeah, and if you can't...
There's something about smoked meat. My wife hates it. I love it. There's something about it that's...
Makes it even better.
Yeah. It's just a depth of flavor.
It really is. And I think everyone has their own perception on smoked meats. There's some that really like it really bitter. They really like a strong smoke. That's not personally what I like. I do like a smoke, a good solid smoke on it. And some people, you have to bridge them. You got to start with a Traeger that's pretty light, and you can't really taste the smoke too much, and then kind of bridge them and get into other things.
It gives you a opens your eyes a little bit to what you can do to certain things.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's smoked cocktails now.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah,
Smoked cocktails. What the fuck do you do with
I had a smoked old fashioned. So they actually put the glass upside down on a smolder, and they pulled it up and then made your cocktail right there. And there was just the nuance of the smoke. It was pretty cool.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
You can
really
taste
cool.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
It's more essence
Okay.
than taste. You
Sure.
get, your smell. Kind of like truffle is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not taste,
yeah.
it's more essence. It was kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was in a place in Carlsbad, and they had a cocktail called Campfire, and it had bourbon and scotch in it, but they didn't have smoky, like a peaty scotch. And so I was drinking it, and I said, make me another one, but make it with the Lafroig.
Sure.
Personally, I changed their drink. It was perfect. I mean,
Nice.
it was with Ray's brother-in-law, and we sat there and we're like, this is great. And he texted me back 2 days later. He's back up in Idaho, and he goes, what was that drink? What was in that? But if it's called something, I want it to taste like that.
Sure.
You know?
Are you going to be able to do any beer at Promiscuous Fork here in La Jolla?
We have 6 drafts.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know you had beer there.
Yeah, we have 6 drafts and just a few. Our bottles are more surf related, Red Stripe, Imperial, Corona, Modelo, stuff like that.
Right.
Just to stay with sort of the theme in the community.
How does that go?
Sell more draft.
Sure.
Everything else, yeah.
Okay.
If you were talking to somebody that was, let's say they were working as a bartender and they wanted to open up their own place, what kind of advice would you give them?
I was given advice once, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to open up this place," and he was the owner. And I said, he goes, "Yeah, I've driven by. I've seen you guys going to open." I said, "Do you have any advice for me?" And he said, "Yeah, don't do it." And he's got a few restaurants, and I was like, "Oh, weird." And I think back now, and I go,
Right.
It's kind of one of those. Be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. A lot of people come in and go, "I want to open a place like yours, small and quaint." I'm like, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
I mean, I was happy to have a 513 square foot restaurant because along the road you're going to learn, you're going to bump your head, there's going to be roadblocks, there's going to be things that happen. It's on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah, no, it's I never like to tell people not to do things. It's something that I was fortunate to have a dad that allowed me to explore and do whatever I wanted. But there is a misconception of people think that, as a restaurant owner that you're just fucking rolling in the dough. Yeah, and it's like, man,
if you're in it for that, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
The margins on restaurants are extremely
and if you don't have hard alcohol, that's where your markup is.
Right.
You don't have that. I don't know if I would tell someone not to do it. I just would let them know that, be prepared to put your life into it, put your life on hold and dive into this thing.
How often are you there?
Every day.
Are you?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we were talking yesterday in my office to my assistant, and she was talking about a friend of hers did some type of business and wanted to do something else and left, and then, her other business failed. And I'm like, absentee owners it's very, unless it's, a very transactional thing. Yeah. Absentee owners are going to go out of business. You can't, very, very rarely are you going to find someone that cares as much as you do.
Exactly.
And when I say rare, I mean, I've never seen it. So when you find that person, though, fucking hold on to them.
I can definitely be there more. Right now, I'm lucky enough to have a staff that I'm fully confident in. First time in like 2 years that I have a staff that shows up and there's very little drama and it's very nice. So they're allowing me to get my sanity back a little bit after 2 years of, what we went through.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm almost there.
Right.
Almost.
Where are you getting your bread from?
California Baking.
Is that where you get yours from?
Absolutely. Yeah. Those guys are phenomenal.
Yeah, they're cool.
I fucking hate them.
Cool. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That's so weird.
Yeah, I tried to get them in here and called them multiple times. He came out, was going to send samples, didn't send samples. Said he sent samples. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, we fucked up. I'll bring them." Never brought them. And then we're like, "Okay, what can we get that's perfect for retail?" And I just think he didn't want to be in retail, which is totally fine.
Okay.
But all you have to say is, "I don't want to be in retail."
Right.
I get it. I get it. You make he does, I mean, from what Sean and Gene say, he does so much fucking business in restaurants that, it's fine, but don't say yes and then not do it.
Right. At least come out and give you the opportunity.
Yeah, we do.
They've been great for us. No problems with them. Bread's good.
Bread's really good. No, I mean, it's.
Yeah, we use their sourdough. We use the multigrain.
Yeah.
Sourdough, and then we get our buns from Shamrock.
Awesome.
Yeah, Tirani. For me, a burger is the bun.
Yeah.
And so I wanted a nice soft brioche bun.
Cool.
And then we also use Philly roll for a couple of our sandwiches.
How have the deliveries been over there?
They're good. They park in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
In the median, and then
right in the median.
Yeah, we're curious to see how it's going to work out, because I mean, some of our loads are quite
you guys will have
7 pallets of meat, or I
just want to go down the alley for you guys.
That's what we're thinking, because that's where our dock's going to be, where we get the ramp up into the back and to get into our coolers. Okay. But it's going to be a learning process for us to see. Right now we're a lot bigger than 4,800 square feet. So
is that what you're going to be over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So downsizing to that 4,800 square feet.
What do you feel that you're going to have to cut out?
Grocery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's to be honest, it's we're going to have a lot of specialty items that you can't get anywhere else, but grocery for us, and when I say grocery, I mean dry goods.
Yeah.
It's takes up about 80% of my floor in my backstock, and it is about 14% of my business. So it's extremely hard to justify that, but people want convenience.
Well, what's going to be hard is, I think, for you guys to figure out what to cut out, because you're in a different demographic now.
Yeah. I mean, there's, I don't need to have 8 different types of corn.
No.
I don't need to have 9 different types of toilet paper. Those are going to be just a little commodity.
I don't know. That's kind of a thing.
Right. Well, we have bidets, so we don't even.
We're big on bidets.
We got a hose out front. We'll take care of
Exactly. But I mean, we'll still do the specialty things that like I said, you can't get anywhere else. But some of the commodity products, I think we'll just really shy away from more. Like, I don't need to have soda. I don't need to have all the 2 liters and stuff. I can let Ron have all that stuff, all that business.
He does a great job with that.
And like I said, we already talked to him a little bit, or his brother. What was his brother's name?
Evan.
We talked to Evan, and so it's things.
I think it's you guys will complement all of us.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of everything there. Ron's got a niche. He's got some stuff there, and you guys will have your stuff, and I think you'll complement each other just fine.
Well, we're excited for it. We definitely are. We're excited to be part of the neighborhood, and like I said, I'm extremely excited to be able to have the sandwich every day. It'd be really,
Absolutely.
really cool.
Well, we'll try to make a behind the smoke meetup and get some of our listeners and come out and support you before the end of the year. And we'll put that on our Facebook page. But how do people find you?
They can find us at, if they need to email me, Craig at thepromiscuousfork.com. We do Instagram, a little bit getting into that, and Facebook. We're on Facebook. Yeah.
Perfect. We'll put that in the show notes. And then this week, our social shout out is going to go to Joey Machado of B&B Charcoal. Ran into him and Saffron this weekend at King of the Smoker. That was an awesome event. Very impressive. We also got to see Kelly and Kathleen McIntosh. They were running that for the KCBS. Sterling Ball, a big Papa Smokers, was kind enough to invite us, and went out there with Brian and Corey. Had some incredible barbecue, and this week, that shout out is going to Joey Machado, B&B Charcoal. So we'll put that in the show notes, but be sure to tag us, hashtag Behind the Smoke. We appreciate you guys following the show. Hit us up on the DM if you want stickers before the end of the year, and we will catch you next Friday.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, this is Sean and Derek, and we just really want to thank you for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us. We'd like you to go check out behindthesmokemedia.com. That's our website where we have barbecue resources for you to help build your barbecue business. We also have events listed, so anything that's happening in the West Coast barbecue movement, anything that's going on, we want you to go check that out so you can learn more and get involved. We We also have show notes from all the episodes. So anything we talked about in the episodes, you can find detailed show notes there. Plus, you can just get in touch with us. It's important that we're here as a resource for you. So please reach out. Let us know how Derek and I can help you with your barbecue journey. Get involved, stay curious, and follow us on social at Barbecue War Stories. We'll talk to you soon.